Meet students Destiny and Lauren, and alumni Jim, Tim, and Betty. These 5 people represent a continuum of the SJMC, whether they graduated almost 70 years ago or are working toward a degree today. Each one is highly engaged with the school in different ways, and each has a unique story to share.
PRISM is a student organization at the J School. I'm the vice president. We stand for and advocate for diversity in the media, equal representations in the media, etc. So I had an internship at Minnesota Public Radio this past summer, and I really liked it. I also had an internship with the Minnesota Daily newspaper, but that one is mostly student run, and so I kind of found that the main difference was that at NPR it was all professionals, adults who've been doing this for years, and I'm just this baby intern. Both internships have been very beneficial as far as showing me kind of what it would be like to do this job and like what areas I like, what areas I'm better at, things like that.
I have done an internship over the summer with a local nonprofit sort of community health organization where I was in charge of doing a community needs assessment. One woman, I remember I talked to her for at least 2 hours, and she was so open about her community and about herself and sort of what they were experiencing and why, and that blew me away. I'm a researcher. She doesn't even know me. I'm with the University of Minnesota. I'm a student. I'm working on this project. Here's my name. She can't see my face. I've never met with her, but yet she's willing to spend 2 or 3 hours on the phone with me to tell me her concerns about her community and what's happening with the teen pregnancy and STI rates, and how what she thinks contributes to that, and how she thinks that her community can better serve teenagers to sort of curb these rates that continue to increase. So that was definitely a memorable experience. I think sometimes we tend to forget that the numbers we're looking at on our screen are people, and that we want to help people, and that's why we do what we do.
We've been doing the mentor program for more than 30 years. In this most recent year, we matched nearly 70 students with high-level media professionals across the Twin Cities. The students, of course, get experience and advice, but what the mentors get out of it is an ability to stay connected with people who are the next generation of the media world. These are, I'm convinced, people that are one day going to be my boss, and I'd like to make a good impression on them.
I think I established the scholarship for an undergraduate at the school because it has benefited me all my life. Without that, I would not have had this fascinating career that I've had that has ranged from through all forms of communications. I've met several of the students who have received my scholarship. It's been quite revealing what they are doing. Quite often it's just amazing.
Look, I wouldn't be sitting here today if not for the mentors, the professionals, the people who over the years have literally put their arms around me and said, Tim, this is how you do it. Why wouldn't you volunteer? Why wouldn't you help out the organization that helped me out?
One of my favorite memories really was meeting with Miss Charnley, who was my chief instructor on all courses in journalism. So we had many wonderful chats, and he was funny and charming, and I would go to all his lectures.
My favorite memory from the SJMC was simply my colleagues and the professors. It was so much fun coming to class every night because you always knew at the end of the night you were going to take home so much more knowledge than you had coming into it.
My favorite memory from the journalism school was writing the very first story that I ever had published for pay. It was an article that I submitted to the Minnesota Daily about someone in my dorm who was paying his way through college playing online poker. And for the very first time, somebody actually said, this is good enough to pay you for and to publish and put in front of our readers.
My favorite memory in Murphy Hall is my office. The graduate students share an office with at least 13 other people. Just sort of having that camaraderie. We get together and we talk and we have lunch and we cry together when we're super stressed. So we're all extremely supportive of each other. We work together and we're also friends.
Being a part of PRISM, I feel like that's been a lot of fun. Not only connecting with other student groups, but also just I feel more connected to the J School because I'm always here in Murphy, like studying in the library or something, and it's like a perfect space for me.
As far as the future for our students graduating in the spring, I think they should think more about other ways to be writers. It isn't just through the media. You don't have to be with a newspaper or radio or television station. You could be working for a big corporation or a small business, or you could be working for a nonprofit.
Reach out to people whose work you admire, because I think you'll be surprised to find out that they'll be very giving. It's just, you got to take the initiative.
Find a career that you're passionate about. Find something that you can't imagine not doing for 8 hours a day for 40 hours a week. Even if the money's not good right away, if you're passionate about it and you're proficient at it, the money will follow.
Hold your head high. You're a University of Minnesota graduate. This brand, this school has a far and wide reach. You have alumni all across the country from this institution in major organizations. Have fun. Chart new courses. Climb mountains. Call your colleagues. Stay in touch with them. Stay in touch with your professors. And I think what you will find in the end is that you'll get a lot of help achieving your goals.